Hey guys, it's time for the May Q&A.
We're in the Patreon. Trying to make it like an immersive thing.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, you sent us your questions for this month. There's 15 questions, so we're going to go through them right now. These guys, you guys haven't read these, right?
I have not, so I hope it's
Great. So
they're
these
easy.
can be anything. It's kind of like an AMA on Reddit, anything, whether it's Star Wars or not. We try to pick ones that aren't Star Wars, but we'll see what we got.
Are we
So,
allowed to say pass?
sure, you get one pass.
Ooh.
One pass.
One pass. All right. Tampa movie guy. Hey, man. He asks, if you could all take a 2-week, all expenses paid vacation to any place on Earth, where would you go?
Pass. I'm just kidding.
That's the pass question. James, where would you go?
Shoot. All expenses paid. I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Dubai.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but or Hong Kong. Both of those. But it's because I said I don't know why, but it's because the cities are so crazy and beautiful. But I don't know what I'd do when I get there. I'd be like, holy crap, this is crazy. I just want to walk around, but there's no goal in mind other than to just look at it. So that would, maybe I'd take like some helicopter tour.
I would tour Europe because I've never been, and if I could do 2 weeks and knock out as many places as I could, all paid, that'd be the way to go. And then I definitely...
Does that count? I thought we were picking one place, not like a collection of places.
Well, Europe's a continent. That's one place.
Yeah, I would say so.
Trick question.
You're going on a trip. You go to Europe. I don't know.
Yep.
I'd probably go to Europe. Europe is the place to go, followed by Japan.
So you can say Europe, but I can't?
You said Europe, so I'm saying Europe because you made it count.
Tampa movie guy. You know where I wouldn't go, Tampa movie guy? Tropicana Fields, because the Rays stink.
First, Game of Thrones, now sports. Next is Mark at De Kinda Vacant.
Hawaii.
Thanks for my JJ, Mark.
He's really going to play this one out. Mark asks,
glasses.
Can you each tell us your podcasting setup? Mic, computer, recording, and editing software, etc.
Ooh.
Well, I use a blue microphone. I have Sony headphones on. I use a Logitech Brio 4K camera, and we record on Skype and Audacity, and then James edits it in Adobe Premiere and syncs them all together. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
And
next.
I use a...
Yeah. He did.
So it's that, and then for editing, everyone else does everything, and I record my tracks in Audacity, and then I use Microsoft Paint to put everything together. And that is pretty much how everyone gets satisfied magically.
You're such a goon. Next is Aaron. Hey, Aaron. General Aaron.
James didn't answer that, did he?
I just answered for him. I told him everything that we'd use. Sorry, James. What microphone do you use?
I would say that question is he's actually, because I want to know what podcasts use all the time. So I was thinking, I don't mean to make it longer than it is, but yeah, we're using Blue Yeti, USB microphones. For my camera, I actually use a DSLR, and I use a program called Camera Live, and then I use another program in conjunction with Camera Live called Cam Twist. And that allows me to use a DSLR camera as a webcam or whatever. And then all that stuff, like we said, it goes into Audacity, and then Premiere Pro is able to export out in multiple different things. But yeah, you can ask me if you want up on Twitter, maybe specific.
You were breaking up. What?
If you want to hit me up on Twitter, I can give you more specifics.
Awesome. All right. So next is Aaron, and he asks, in an alternate reality in which Star Wars never existed.
Pass.
I don't like this timeline. What would each of you what would you each believe the alternate version of yourself would want to do a podcast about?
Oh, mine's easy. Dragon Ball Z.
Nice. That's a good answer. John? Are you going to say the Yankees?
Yeah, sports.
Honestly, it would probably be
spends like 20 minutes on it.
It'd probably be a general movie podcast or a Yankees podcast.
Such a bro. I don't know what I would do, honest.
I know what Aaron would do.
What would Aaron do?
Twin Peaks.
Oh, he does love Twin Peaks. That's
Let me
true.
know. Comment if I'm correct, Aaron.
I would probably do an Office podcast. But you can't really do much because nothing's going on there.
Yeah.
Or like a romantic comedy podcast. I love romantic comedies. Like on the Hallmark Channel, I think I'd be like really good at that.
You should start that.
Why? Do you want to be on it with me?
A rom-com podcast? I don't think so. Although I do like some rom-coms, I'm not gonna lie.
I might do Marvel. That'd probably be the big franchise thing.
Yeah, I just feel like I would have to be on like something weird or like niche.
Mm-hmm.
You like
Anyway.
Star Wars.
I'm saying because I couldn't do Star Wars, it would be something different.
I know.
All right, next is Don. Hey, Don. Who's been killing it with the digital art lately? Like, killing it. He asked,
Microsoft Paint.
what are everyone's desert island movies that aren't a part of Star Wars whatsoever? 3 a person. You're on a desert island. What do you bring? Not Star Wars.
James.
Well, I'll give it a cheap answer first. Back to the Future, Back to the Future 2, and Back to the Future 3. That's a cheap answer. I can come up with other movies besides that, though, if either one of you want to go. Back to the Future, definitely on mine. Happy Gilmore.
I was watching Wedding Crashers the other day, and I realized like how funny that movie is. Probably Step Brothers. Come back to me. I got one.
Legally Blonde.
No, you always say that, but you don't really mean it.
No, that's they do that on The Office. That's an Office joke. I would say Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Good Will Hunting, and Batman Begins. And that rotation may change, but that's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah,
So I got
Go
Back
ahead,
to the Future and Happy Gilmore, and gosh, man, I'm trying to think of just like a movie that I just always go to, like no matter what. That's how I landed on Happy Gilmore.
Coco.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Step Brothers. You've Got Mail.
I can't think of a third one. I don't know. There's too many good choices, but I'm trying to think.
The Godfather?
No, I've never even seen it. I don't know.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Mm-hmm.
I only know that from You've Got Mail.
All right, I'm dragging this out, so I'm just going to come up with something that I could probably deep dive in for the rest of my life. I'm going to go with Blade Runner 2049.
Oh.
What?
Because I feel like I could rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. No matter how many times I see it, there's going to be new stuff that I find.
It's 17 hours long. All right.
I love that he's criticizing you on that, but yet he'll have a Yankees podcast. Bryan is
Legally
up next.
Blonde, he says.
That was a joke.
Ryan Potheir is up next. He says, if a wealthy benefactor handed you a blank check and asked you, these are good questions this month, and asked you what amount to fill it in exchange for, what amount to fill it in exchange for you to stop Star Wars podcasting forever, what would be the amount?
Lacey.
Well, we can obviously lie on, so I'd just 99 billion, and they would never know that I would have done it for 98 billion.
So you're saying if someone came up to you with a check for
Suckers.
$5 million, you'd be like, nope.
I would take 5 million.
Yeah, it's like the lowest number that you would do it.
I wouldn't.
Honestly.
I would take like 50 million.
Wait, if someone showed up at your house with a legit check for $5 million, you wouldn't be like, guys, this has been fun.
I don't know if I would. I really like doing this every week.
I'd
money is worth your happiness, John.
I'd be pretty happy
It's
with
just
5
Star
million.
Wars, or is it podcasting?
I think he said
Star
Wars
Wars
podcasting.
Yeah, I think I could go without Star Wars
Wow,
podcasting.
I'm so glad you guys are so eager to leave.
No, that's not it. I'm
James,
saying it's
what's
an
the lowest you could go?
incomprehensible amount of money, but like,
James, $1
I
million.
don't know, man. That's the thing is like, I think even $1 million, like seriously, because it's not that much, but like in comparison to like any crazy number,
$25,000.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You thought about it.
I had to think about. You have to think.
I think my number.
I think $1 million's good because you could save. You could live your entire life on $1 million. You know what I mean? You could do anything you wanted, really.
Not in Fairfield County.
Next, are you gonna answer?
I would say $1 million.
$1 million? That's it?
That's a lot of money. I could change my whole life with that.
That's fair. Okay, Mello is next. Hey, Mello. He says, in a perfect world where we get a Darth Plagueis, is it Plagueis or Plagueis?
Plagueis.
It's Plagueis, Lacey.
Plagueis movie. Who would be the best actor to portray him? Also, which is your favorite non-Star Wars film, book, and series?
Wow.
What was it? Was non-canon? Is that what he asked?
No, non-Star Wars.
Oh, non-Star Wars.
I can start with the
book
non-Star
series?
Wars stuff. Non-Star Wars film, book, series. Film, probably Coco. Book, Attachments by Rainbow Royale. And series, The Office. But who would play that character? I don't know. Michael Fassbender? I don't know.
That's actually a good pick.
Thank you so much.
Shut up. James, who would play Plagueis?
I mean, if Plagueis is an alien, so you think like this person's gonna be like heavily. It's gonna be like Josh Brolin playing Thanos. It's like, is that really
that's what I was
Brolin?
thinking. It could be anybody.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking, all right, I don't know, Chiwetel Ejiofor would be good for that.
Okay, what's your favorite film, book, series?
Favorite film?
Go with
film
your gut.
book?
Film, book, and series, like TV series. Non-Star Wars.
Oh, TV series. I don't know. I don't really think about TV series that much. Dragon Ball Z, I guess. Yeah. I always talk about that.
Book?
You know who? Oh, go ahead.
Book?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just being thrown into these. I don't know. I recently read Contact, and I always really loved the movie, and so I finally dove into the book, and it was really satisfying.
Okay, TV series. Oh, you said Dragon Ball Z. Film. Back to the Future.
Yeah, I'll say Back to the Future. That's fine.
John.
Get it out of the way.
So I think playing Plagueis, Billy Crudup. How about that pick? He played Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen.
That's a terrible. Ugh.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's a great actor. So I liked him in
only
Big.
one.
Why did
he's good.
Yeah. Just because you don't like things, the world doesn't revolve around you. So Billy Crudup. Movie?
That's a crud up answer.
Jeez. That's not even a good dad joke. Movie, I'll say Good Will Hunting. Book, Private Parts by Howard Stern. And series, gotta go. Man, this is tough. Comedy, like sitcom, Seinfeld. Drama series, Sopranos.
Great. Next is Todd, who asks, if you were asked to be in a Star Wars movie, what would you want? What part would you want? Would you want to be a creature, alien, bounty hunter, smuggler, trooper, Jedi, etc.? Easy, Jedi. Done. James?
I can tell you this. No freaking way would I want to be a creature.
You're sweating.
I'd be like, yeah, it's just miserable. And then you're like, I'm the guy who's behind the mask and the thing. It's like, come on, man. You don't want your face or your presence being.
Do you want to get an autograph with the guy who played Therm Scissor Punch? It's like, no thanks.
No, yeah. Yeah, I definitely would be some sort of honorable force user. I think that's probably the way to go, like Jedi or like a Chirrut Emway kind of thing. Would be really cool. But I definitely do like the like scoundrel blaster bounty hunter kind of character too. Like if Boba Fett didn't have a mask, but he was still like that dark of a presence of a character. Yeah,
right.
I'd be full Sith Lord, like evil ass kicking dark side user. Take out all my aggressions. I'll go on Twitter for an hour for inspiration.
There you go.
Great. Next.
Great.
Todd, who would you be? Everybody give their answers to.
Next, Evan Harris wants to know, are you guys big book readers? Any favorite books that aren't Star Wars related?
So we kind of answered this before. Contact, and then Lord of the Rings stuff is always really cool.
I like nonfiction stuff. I like
the
Making of Star Wars books by Rinsler. I like all Star Wars nonfiction books more than the canon Star Wars books actually, and I like biographies and stuff like that, and autobiographies. I think are cool.
I think I've read every C.S. Lewis nonfiction book. I haven't read like any of his fiction stuff, but all of his nonfiction, Mere Christianity, Abolition of Man, stuff like that, Screw Tape Letters, all that stuff.
Yeah, I like Rainbow Rowell's books. I say that all the time. I was actually looking at my phone because I was looking up the title of this book. I like books about media and how media has changed the world from social media to video production to whatever. It's what I got my master's degree in. So I liked this book called Originals, How Nonconformists Move the World by Adam Grant. It's very good. It's about how all these things that people thought were going to fail, like Seinfeld, didn't because someone took a chance on them and they were original. So I love those like inspirational, like people that are changing the world type books.
Nice.
Next is Todd again. What's your favorite film score that's not from Star Wars? James, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, man.
Favorite film score not from Star Wars. Man, all of these questions. I wish we would have read them before. I got nothing on just what comes to mind.
Tron Legacy is like one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. And I also love Moon River for Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, Tron Legacy is a good one. It's one of the movies. It's one of the few movies that I actually did go and pick it up because I was so blown away by what they did in the movie. What's interesting too is they did like a remix version of the Tron Legacy, and I think it's even better than the actual score itself. So yeah, that's a really good answer, Lacey. John, what are you gonna say?
The beginning of that soundtrack is so good, where it's like dun 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 dun.
Oh, the
Jeff
grid.
Bridges is like the grid.
Yeah,
so good.
That movie stinks.
No, dude, it's good.
But the soundtrack is a bunch of bangers, and you can do any work to that music. I focus like crazy, like hyper focus on stuff. It's like I'm in the grid.
I would say Jurassic Park.
Harry Potter's good.
But that's John Williams, Jurassic Park. So if I'm away from John Williams, I go over to Hans Zimmer, and then I'll say either Batman Begins or Man of Steel as a sleeper pick, because those scores are epic.
Yeah. Pride and Prejudice is really
I like
good.
Inception.
Inception's
it's more than that, man. It's more than that.
And one more from Todd. He asks, what's one real world filming location you would want to visit, either Star Wars or just any movie?
Ooh.
Probably Last Jedi, just because I love that area of Ireland and I've been twice. So now I got to go back and see those locations.
So any movie, not just Star Wars?
Yeah, any movie or a Star Wars movie. So my Star Wars answer is Ireland.
I'd probably pick any of the places they go in, like Indiana Jones. Like, I think they did filming in Jordan for Last Crusade.
Mm.
Skellig Michael would probably be pretty cool.
You know, I've been to Hawaii where they shoot a lot of movies.
Yeah, I've been there
Why?
too.
There's a
We're getting
couple
Sarah
of those.
Marshall, that resort.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park?
there's a couple. Yeah, Jurassic Park, 51st States and stuff. At Godzilla. There's
Catching
a lot of
Fire,
movies that all
Hunger
take place
Games.
like in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot. I like the stuff that they shoot with like the castles, like in Attack of the Clones and stuff. All that stuff
Mhm.
is like super beautiful. Yeah, I'd probably pick something that was like more tropical, not tropical like Rogue One, but like the shoot, like the Alderaan type planets.
Okay.
Like beautiful trees and mountains and stuff. Yeah, that stuff's great.
All right. Next comes from Neil, our newest general. Hi, Neil. He
Hey, Neil.
asks, what 5 historical figures, living or dead, would you immediately follow on Twitter if they came on there?
Oh, man. That is a good question, Neil. I will say JFK.
I'd
Chris
pick Walt Disney.
Chris Farley.
Ooh, Chris Farley's a good answer.
Mickey Mantle. Abraham Lincoln. And Jesus Christ.
Took two
Very
of mine,
historical.
John.
Mine spanned
also,
from Chris Farley to Jesus. So
yeah, I had Jesus and Abraham Lincoln on there too. I was also thinking of George Washington as well. One of the first ones I thought of was C.S. Lewis because we had just talked about him. And I guess that would make 4 for me. I'm trying to go through all my Bill and Ted. Napoleon?
Socrates.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say Soccer. Aristotle, probably. Actually, that would be pretty wild because you could probably like tweet at him and be like, "Yo, when Socrates said this, what did he mean?" And he'd be like, "I was there when he said that." So you'd
And
probably
his
get a
handle
lot
would be
more out of
like
him.
SO Crates 5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would do Walt Disney, Jim Henson.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of who else.
How about like Bob Ross live tweeting his painting?
That'd be good. Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn.
I would follow Marilyn Monroe at like 2 a.m. And she's on one of her like drug binges, like going to Joe D's house.
What about somebody crazy like like a bank robber or something, you know?
Why would I follow a crazy bank robber?
I don't know, because they're super famous. Like a lot of people would probably follow like Jeffrey
Jack
Dahmer
the
if he was
Ripper.
on Twitter.
Oh, murder.
Yeah, something like that.
He's like just chilling out murdering, you know me.
Ted
Hashtag
Bundy.
YOLO.
Ted Bundy.
That's a good question, Neil. Well done. Next is Len Brown. He says, complete this sentence. In high school, I was voted the student most likely to blank.
Oh, pass. I was voted the most likely to pass.
Oh, are you passing?
What? I'm sorry?
Are you passing the question, or are you saying to pass school?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I guess he's passing the question.
Oh, okay. John, are you answering?
Or am I answering the question? I was most likely to pass.
All right.
Whatever. John.
In high school, I was the person. What? Read it again. Voted most likely or something.
They voted you most likely to blank.
Bro, I don't know. Probably like pull pranks.
Were you voted anything in high school?
No. I mean,
Oh.
I won a student election, but that's not being voted anything, right?
What did you win for?
I was the secretary of the administration.
You were secretary?
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
Secretary of Defense.
I was voted most spirited at my school and class clown.
Oh, half of that's still true.
Oh, that's
The
nice.
the real
Which
answer
half?
is the exact opposite of pass. It's fail. I would have been most likely to fail. I was like on the verge of failing every single grade since the 5th grade.
You weren't a good student?
Probably win most annoying. Most likely to be annoying.
Well, we'll see.
Next is Aaron, and he asks, since we are not immortal, and none of us knows how much time we have, why shouldn't we each do exactly what we want to do and say without necessarily hurting others, of course? What do we hold ourselves back? Is that a question?
Wait, is he? What is he?
I'm confused.
What is he asking?
Why shouldn't we each do exactly what we want to do and say without necessarily hurting others, of course? Why do we hold ourselves back? I guess fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of, this is a deep question.
I think bills. I think bills is a big part of it. I got bills to pay, so I can't just like. I have a friend Mark, who like quit his job, and he I don't think he has insurance, and he's just like, I'm gonna go here now, and I'm gonna start traveling. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do about this or this? And he's like, YOLO, man. I'm like, I can't think like. I love Mark. He's one of my best friends, but I can't like my brain. I can't do that. So
Mhm.
I think it's just because I have a family and all that stuff. I think it's just the sense of needing to pay my bills and be secure and take care of my family. Then
Yeah.
it's probably why I can't just up and do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's responsibility
Yeah.
as a whole, but Lacey nailed it like right at the core. It's fear, and it's fear of failure. And I mean, I think that's the case, like whether you're religious or you're looking at something like in crazy scientific thing, they say, doubt is the thing that causes things to not happen,
Right.
sin and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why people don't move forward, is they're afraid of taking the leap of faith.
Yeah. Okay, and last but not least
Q&A
is
got
Len.
deep.
Yeah. Len asks, other than Star Wars, what movie do you have to watch every time you come across it while channel surfing? Probably How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days with Matthew McConaughey.
The
Love that
Town with Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah. The Town. Every time that's on, I'm like, I'm watching it.
movie.
I don't channel surf anymore. I don't have cable, but for years and years and years, it was always my answer was Happy Gilmore. And I said that earlier. It's because no matter where it was in the movie, I would always stop and watch the whole thing.
Mhm.
I like that. Yeah,
Somebody recently put that as it's called a one sock movie, because if you start watching it when you're putting on your socks, you won't be able to put on your second sock before the movie's over.
Who said that? Who came up with that gem?
Guillermo del Toro.
He's an idiot. Whoever that is. I'm just kidding. I know who that is. Lacey, what was your movie?
I said How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, or yeah, something
That's
like
funny.
that. Wedding Crashers. Funny movies usually get me. I love comedies.
You like McConaughey?
I do. Yes, he's very hot in that movie.
All right,
Guys,
all right.
thank you so much for your questions. This
That
is for May. That is it. If you want to be a part of next month's Q&A, keep an eye out on the timeline of our Patreon, and I will post probably a couple days prior asking for questions, and you can ask whatever you want, or you can add to this one, and I'll try to roll some questions over. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
later.
Peace
Bye.
out.